What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I am Craig, and as usual, we're going to be going over the charts. We're going to talk a little bit about the Dow. Then we're going to look at the DXY, and then, of course, Bitcoin. We're going to go into the smaller time frames in Bitcoin towards the end of the video, so make sure you stick around for that. But before we begin, make sure you take a second out, scroll down, smash that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already if you want daily updates, and make sure you tick that notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. And if you would, leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the markets and what you think's going on. Also, you can put down there what coins you would like me to go over or what stock charts you would like me to go over in the future, because I will be starting to look into that stuff a little bit deeper for you guys. So anyways, let's get into it. So the Dow Jones back here on in January, we called a break of this, and my target was 30,700. It's been there forever. We did get a bounce there. Now, I had said if we get a real bounce there, and that is the reversal, then we may not be looking at a huge recession or Great Depression. But we were going to get a bounce there, which we did. Will it hold? That's the question. If we break back below this, what I'm thinking is we could see something like this. Now, it's not a guarantee, but as you can see what happened in the Great Depression right up here. This is the Dow Jones right now. This is back then. We could definitely see something like this. Now, a lot of people say, well, if you just hold, the market goes back up. Well, not necessarily. This took a very long time. So let's look at the top. It was 1929 when it topped. And let's see when it broke that. That was around 1955. So it was 20 some years before it broke the all-time high again. So if you can hold on that long, if this was to happen. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen for sure, but damn, it's looking pretty convincing. There's some other stuff we're going to look at also. But anyways, let's get into it. So the dollar is getting a nice bounce here. Will it get rejected at the 102 and come back to the 101? If it does, we'll probably get a little pump in Bitcoin on the way down here. But as of right now, I do have some lower targets for Bitcoin we're going to take a look at. We're going to take a look at the daily chart is going to be our main focus, because that is where the trade setup will be. So let's take a look at the Amazon compared to Bitcoin chart. If we look here, we're going to take a look at each of these peaks. People say, but there was 3 peaks in Amazon. Well, I'm going to squash that right now. So let's take a look at it. Let's lock this in, and we're going to go here. So this top right here, right? This was on or in January of 99. Let's put an arrow there, right? When was this top right here? Well, January. Let's put another arrow there. Now, again, guys, none of this stuff is guaranteed to happen, but damn, it's very convincing and it's looking a lot alike. So those were our peaks in January, right? Let's go to, whoops, this again. This peak right here, when was that? That was in April of 99. When was this peak here? April of 21. This peak here? November 99. This peak here, November. Let's even look here. Let's look at this bottom. When was this bottom? This was actually the first bottom right here. June. Oh, look at that. June. Let's look at this peak here for our wave 2. Looking at this as a 5-wave structure down. And that was in January. Excuse me, guys. So right here, we had one in January, but we're going to look at this one here. That was February. Again, doesn't have to be exact, but let's look at this low here. That was in April, right? Look at this low here. This is in, well, if we, let's see, that low there was June. So now, if we look at the bottom, this was, if it took the same amount of time, this, if this does play out like this, 37-ish, 3,700-ish. Now, it doesn't have to go that low, guys, but it is a very good possibility, because let me show you this. If we take from this high all the way down to the bottom, right here was 95% correction. If we were to see the same in Bitcoin, go from the top all the way to the bottom, gets us around that 35 to 3,700 range. Again, it doesn't have to happen, but you need to prepare for this stuff just in case. All right, let's take a look at the weekly. So on the weekly here, as you guys know, if we do come up to this at some point, I believe we get a rejection here around the 35, depending on how long. If it was to take months, it could be 37. But anyways, we'll be keeping you updated on this. That's why I do this every day, to kind of keep an eye on the markets. So if we look at the weekly RSI, we definitely have more room for more downside here. We do have this target here at 24.5 on the weekly. But let's take a look at, before we go into the smaller time frames, check out PrimeXBT. I have a link down below. Also have tutorials on my YouTube page. Definitely check them out. By far my favorite crypto exchange. You can also trade regular markets, Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, everything from one exchange. And you can have multiple trades in, longs and short, all at the same time, so you can hedge your trades. Definitely check them out. By far my favorite. Also, you can use my promo code SAVVY50. That'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus. SAVVY25 will get you 25% off your fees. And they have contests in here. Actually, we have one going. It's the Savvy Trading Clash competition. It's totally free to join. You can win real prizes. Use the key 777777 to join. All you need is an email to sign up with PrimeXBT. All right, so let's take a look at this daily chart right here. We're going to take a look at the bigger picture first. So if we look at the bigger picture, as you guys know, let me get that off here. It's out of our way. As you guys know, on the bigger picture, after these 5 waves down, which we called on this channel perfectly, after these 5 waves down, we were expecting an ABC bull trap up where everybody would get excited and call 100K. And that's exactly what happened. And then we would drop. And that's exactly what happened. Then we started taking a look at this rising broadening wedge. We had a measured move of this rising broadening wedge that brings us down to, and this is the daily. We had the other targets on the 4-hour, which hit, but this is the daily around 24.3. It's still a good possibility we get there, but we do have some targets for bounces before that range. Then we started looking at this as a bear flag, and our bear flag target was right here, 25.66, which it hit almost exactly. Let's look at where we're at now. So if we're looking at this, we got lower lows or lower highs in the RSI or price action, higher highs in the RSI. That's hidden bearish divergence. Hidden divergence is a continuation of the trend. And where this is on the daily time frame, the trend is down. So most likely we're going to break down from here. But there's always that possibility we break up, right? So what we want to look at on the daily is this right here. A break below this, and it's going to be around the 28.6 range. Break below this gets us all the way down to around 25.6-ish area. Now, that doesn't mean it has to bounce there, but that'd be a good area to look for a bounce. If it does bounce here, possibly come back up, retest this 28.8 again, see if we get rejected. If we get rejected, we have much lower to go, possibly. Now, one more thing I want to look at in this daily before we get into the smaller time frames is looking at this bull flag. I explained to people, I've seen people making measured moves on the log chart. That doesn't work on the log chart. Obviously, that person doesn't know what they're talking about. So if we look at the trend break here and we start our flag pull from there, go all the way down to the bottom of where the flag is, and then we bring it to where it broke, that gets us a target of 68.40. So I believe if we break this 24,000 area, we're most likely going to see the $6,800 to $3,500 range. Possibly, if it plays out like Amazon, like I've been talking about, the middle or end of 2023. So that means there's plenty of time for all kinds of bouncing around. We may range up above and keep testing this 24,000 for months and months and months. But once that breaks, then I think we can see these lower lows. Doesn't mean that'll be a straight down. You know, we could get a bounce around that 13 or 12 area that everybody's saying will definitely hold, just like 6,000 would definitely hold back in 2018. But anyways, we're going to be keeping a close eye on this. I do think there's a good possibility we see these lower lows. That doesn't mean it has to happen, but I do believe it's a good possibility. Now let's take a look at this a little bit closer, and then we'll go into the 4 hour. So if we look at where we're at now, could we range in here for another, couple weeks? Definitely a possibility. But a break of either one of these trend lines, it's going to set us off to our measured move. And that's just measuring the widest point of the triangle here. If it was to break up, which is less likely in my opinion, would get us up around that 33.4 range. We would have to break this high of 30,600 area. If it breaks down, like I said, 28.6 area, then we could be seeing this. But again, we could bounce around in here for weeks. It could break today. It could break tomorrow. It could take a week, could take 2 weeks. We got a lot of room in this triangle yet. We are getting rejected at the 8 EMA on the daily, and that is right now currently about 29.7. The next point of resistance here is 30,300, which is the 13 EMA. And then we have the 21 EMA up around the 31.5. If this does take weeks to happen, the 55 EMA will most likely be coming down back into this range. So again, be careful, be cautious. Taking a look at the 4 hour, as you guys know, we were looking at this as a bear flag. People called me crazy. I shorted 48. And then once we broke here, we had the measured move target. I love these measured moves, guys. Not on the log chart because that's not how you do it. But the measured move is simply this channel measurement, the width of the channel to where it broke, and boom, we hit it exact on the 4 hour. Now, if we look at the RSI, we've been talking about this. We had this long-term trend right here on the RSI, which now we are getting rejected on again. If we do get a pump back up, we could test the bottom of this channel with the RSI, and that could get us back up to test this trend line here. Zoom in here. Test back up to these ranges, 30,100, somewhere in there. But we have to break through the EMAs here on the 4 hour first. If it does, I expect a rejection here and coming down. And I have this area circled, and that's the measured move of the RSI. And yes, you can do it in the RSI too. So when the RSI gets down to this area right here, which is around the 20 range, is when I think we'll get a bounce. So definitely keep your eye on the RSI also. But that is what I'm looking at today, guys. That's where I'm at. The daily, like I said, is the most important chart to watch now. Could be, some more bouncing around in these areas. But again, if this trend line or this trend line breaks, that will give us our direction of which way Bitcoin's going. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to scroll down, smash that thumbs up, share the video if you like the videos, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Again, tell me what coins or whatever you guys would like to start looking at. I'm going to start maybe doing a second live video every once or twice a week and going over other stocks and stuff. So again, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'm out of here.